Yeah, hi everybody. I'm here today at the Kapuka Memorial, and this was erected. This is quite more recent. Originally, it was just over there. See that tree there across the road? There was the original plaque was just under that tree, but they've moved it and set this up for people. And I suspect that's where it happened too. I suspect it's that area there where it originally happened. But yeah, it was actually the Australian Army's worst accident that happened during wartime. So on the 21st of May, 1945, in a single blinding flash of gelignite, 26 young lives were snuffed out in an underground bunker. So yeah, just over there, I'm pretty sure, 1945. 26 soldiers died in a horrible training accident in an explosion. This is the memorial itself that they've erected. It's the flagpole. So this is Kapuka, New South Wales, just outside of Wagga. This is 1 RTB, 1 Recruit Training Battalion, or known as Blamey Barracks or Kapuka Military Area, named after General Blamey. That's my car over there and my kids. We're just keeping an eye on our son who likes to run and escape. Yeah, it's a really beautiful, peaceful area. So yeah, here you go. This actually explains. Yeah, so see that tree there was where the original, and there's the damage there. So there you go. So right where that fence is, that was where the bunker blast was, and where I think 24 died instantly, and 2 more died in the days after from their wounds. So yeah, it all went down right there. It says in the field across the road, in the box marked above, at 2:45 on the 21st of May 1945, 26 soldiers were killed in an explosion while training for the war in the Pacific at what was then the Engineer Training Centre. The sappers were seated in an underground bunker on a demolition range, receiving instruction on explosives. The exact cause of the explosion is still unknown. However, 24 men were killed instantly, with 2 dying in hospital some 2 hours later. Looking through the telescope to the right of this sign, the exact spot in the adjacent field where the incident in 1945 took place can be observed. So this is set up to see it instantly. I don't know if this will work. Probably won't. Where's the camera? Let me try this, guys. So it's right there, yeah, so it's right there. Yeah, so that building there is erected over the bunker, which makes sense. That concrete thing there could even be an original part of it, maybe. It makes sense that they've erected a structure over it just to protect it and give it some sort of respect. But yeah, really tragic though. These guys would have been training up for a future in the Defence Force and wanted to serve their country, whether it was right or wrong. Don't want to get into that, but their motivation was to serve, and a bit of adventure, and they never made it. They never made it there. But they still served. They still served because because training is dangerous, and that's part of the preparation to go to combat, and so they still did their duty. There's no shame in that at all. And this is the original stone that was at the in that memorial site across the road next to that tree, and they've just sort of fixed it here now in the centre of the memorial. I think it's a nice touch. But yeah, for years it was across the road there, and it was on the other side of that fence, and you could just look at it. You couldn't reach, still that's all you can do, but there was nothing tangible you could sort of interact with, if you know what I mean. So now they've created this. And these are the names of the men who died. It's really hard to read their names. Actually, it's easier through the camera for some reason. So, yeah, lots of sergeants, corporals, sappers, which means engineer, I'm pretty sure. But all just young men, snuffed out way too soon. There's some more. There's the bunker there. And they still don't know how it happened. They don't know exactly what triggered the explosion. And then they had a huge memorial service for it. That would have been that's probably the main street of Wagga there. There's the procession. There's the funerals. There's the coffins loaded on trucks. Who are they buried? Edward Street. At the cemetery, only relatives of the armed personnel were permitted inside. Services for the different faiths were conducted, including the simultaneous lowering of coffins. Emotion overcame a number of people during the service, military and civilian. It was unprecedented and is remembered as an enormous thing for the town to come to grips with. And then the war only ended months after that. It's really tragic. So Kapuka was then closed after an engineer training centre. All of its functions were absorbed into the School of Military Engineering at Casula in Sydney. The Army Recruit Training Centre acknowledged the generous financial support of the Wagga Wagga RSL sub-branch in developing these information panels. Yeah, so I don't know where they're actually buried. That appears to be the burial ground there, but I'm just trying to see if I recognise anything. I don't know where they were buried. I'm going to find out because I am going to go there. Actually, I recognise. See that there? See that gate there? I reckon that's I think that's the war cemetery. Yeah, and I recognise that there. I think, and see that there, and I'll line this up later for you. That is like the Vietnamese or the Chinese cemetery. That's just my son. He's autistic. He's in the car playing. All right, buddy. All right, buddy boy. Stop that. He's having a ball. Yeah, see that thing there is like part of like a Chinese or Vietnamese cemetery in the, yeah, so I'm sure that's where it is. That's the war cemetery, which I've never actually walked into, but I'm going to head there now. And then yeah, I'll show you guys where these brave men are actually buried. Yeah, so here we are, guys. Yeah, so I'm at the Wagga Wagga Cemetery. And yeah, so following up on my last video, so yeah, so here's the funeral procession. There's that same photo that we saw before. Here's the graveside service. There's that photo there with the graves. And I thought I had this right. So yeah, I thought I was in the right. I am in the right place, but that there, I cannot see that from where I am now. I'm not sure if that is a thing or not. But yeah, we're here now at the Wagga Wagga Cemetery. Here's our this is a list of servicemen and women interred or remembered in the Monument Cemetery, Wagga Wagga. As you can see, it's a big list. 21st of May 1945, so that is most likely the guys, most likely the guys that that died in the Kapooka Tragedy, because that's when that was, 21st of May 1945. And I think they may have even been the first people buried here, to be honest. 21st, yeah, I reckon they were the first people to be buried here. Oh no, 23rd April 43, but they might not have been buried here till later. I'm not sure. I'll do some research on that. But yeah, see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So yeah, don't know. But anyway. But here we are, here's the cemetery here. This is the war cemetery at the Wagga Wagga. So we'll go and take a look. There it is there. I've actually never been here. I've lived here for someone's glasses. Yeah, I've lived here for 17 years or so, and I've never actually been in here. I've always wanted to check it out because I like cemeteries. I'm a bit of a cemetery nerd, but yeah, never actually So we've got 3 Australian casualties from the First World War here as well. So we'll go in and have a look. It's a really nice, peaceful little area. It's well kept. But this would be the area from that photo. I don't know. There was like a white fence, like a white gate, like arch. So don't know where that went. That's 12th of June, 15th of June. There we go. 21st of May, 1945, age 28. He was a sapper. He's a bit older. That's 28's old for military, so he's probably, I don't know if sappers are equal with corporal level or if they're sometimes, anyone correct me if you know. I think sometimes you can be like a corporal, but instead of a corporal rank, you're actually called what your mustering is, or what your military role is. So if you're an engineer, you're called a sapper, even if you're a corporal. But I think, yeah, if you're a sergeant, regardless, you'd be a sergeant. I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. So he's one of the guys from that tragedy. Another guy, 20 years old, L.J. Mather. He was a sapper as well, so maybe he was, I'd say by his age, he would have been a corporal most likely. So yeah. So maybe I'm wrong about that other thing, or maybe that guy just joined a bit later. 21st of May. 31. So an old man by those standards. Back then, 21st of May. Yeah, 21. 36. He must have been one of the oldest, I'd say. Oh no, different. 14th of September. So different event. 34. He's 21st of May. I'd say he's probably the oldest. But if you remember that photo, it was sort of the burial procession was here. And yeah, so I thought where I came in at that entrance there was where that white archway was, and it may have been back then. It's just changed maybe, or it was temporary. But yeah, and that's Kringle Road there. It's just obviously changed a lot. Like, this was the beginning of that cemetery back then, and it's just been a bit of development and a bit of growth and stuff since then. But yeah, so that's where these men were laid to rest from that Kapooka tragedy. It's an old wreath that's fallen down. Wagga's a bit of a military town, so we really honour our war dead on Anzac Day and stuff. So I'm not surprised that there's going to be remnants of like recent, probably last Anzac Day, and we're coming up to it again. It's this month, Anzac Day. Yeah, there's another guy from that incident. That's interesting. There's a bit of a gap there, which I find interesting. There could be 2 unmarked graves there, I'm not sure. Yeah, not too sure why you'd have a gap here. What's that? Yeah, there's something there, so I wonder if they're just 2 unmarked graves possibly, or not sure. It's a bit of a mystery, that. There's got to be a reason for it. Yeah, see that? There's got to be a reason behind that. I'm going to investigate, see if I can find an answer, because I'm just curious about things. But yeah, so that's it. That's the end to this video. Just wanted to show you it's something I'm going to start doing this, because there's some cool stuff around here, around the Riverina. It's got a history, and people don't either know, or they're kids these days just don't pay attention to history, and they're not interested. But there's generations of people have lived and died here and done things, and when you look around, there's little hints around the place. There's some cool historical stuff around here. We've had bush rangers, and we've had murders, and we've had all kinds of controversy go on in our small history. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I don't want to go and visit where something happened or where someone lived without also showing you where they're buried. It sort of completes the story, I think. So yeah, so anyway, so that's those are the 26 men who died in the explosion at Kapooka Army Barracks, known as, I think it's just called the Kapooka Tragedy, 21st of May 1945. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Just a little add-on to the video too. So they've got a cemetery registry here. It's just kept here. There was a pen, but there's no pen. And it's so here's a full list of all the people who were buried here. And it's got their location, their grave location, their service number. They call that PM keys now these days. That's like your serial number, age, date of death, rank, and that's between 1939 and 1945. So yeah, so that's kept there. I found that interesting because not a lot's respected these days in this day and age, so it's cool that can be left there and not messed with and sort of respected. And I counted the graves, and I think it was either 82 or 83. and it said somewhere, I think it might have been on this sign here, so just to solve the mystery that I created about the gap between the headstones. I just want to see. I did say somewhere. Where did I see it? Where did I see it? It was written somewhere. So where did I see it? The Wagga Cemetery contains 82 war burials, comprising 40 Australian Army, 42 RAF, which is Air Force, and one post-war grave. Many of the RAF aircrew died in air training accidents, while 26 members of the School of Military Engineering buried here perished in the same day in a mine training accident. And there are 12 Australian Army, 21 RAF, 3 Australian casualties from the First World War. So there you go. So there's 82 headstones. So that means there's no that I can account for anyway. There's no reason why there's a gap there. Maybe they're saving it for somebody. There is one post-war burial here, so there might be someone who was yet to pass away. Maybe there was an intention to bury, there's people that are really proud military sort of lifers, and might have been their intention to be buried here amongst their comrades, even though they outlived the war. But I'm pretty sure just about everyone's gone now. There's only a few left, so things change. I'm sure there's a reason for it. But they're not really symmetrical anyway. Like if you actually have another look, it's not like there's like a 2 feet between headstone or anything that's consistent. So that's just me overthinking things, just picking out inconsistencies that aren't really there. It's just pretty random, I think. But yeah, it's still a beautiful area, and I just wanted to add that in and solve that mystery. All right, cheers.